23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full-service cabinets, countertops, and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
Hi, I'm Andy Meadows, Chief Editor of Radio Update. What is Radio Update, you ask? It's an online publication specific to radio that shares innovative ideas about how to move our industry forward. Check us out if you're in radio or interested in getting into an industry that's over 100 years old and stronger than ever. Broadcast radio is now the largest mass medium in the United States. If you're like me and you have a passion for radio, or you want to put the power of radio to work for your brand, log on to radioupdate.com.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
License shot campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub, I'm full of water. I say hot tub, stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub, rubber tub and hot tub, rubber tub and me. Shall I get in the hot tub? Yeah. Will you make me sweat? Yeah. Shall I get in the hot tub? Yeah. Will you make me wet? Yeah.
Well. What are you doing over there? Like pulling a Joe Biden? Pulling a Joe Biden on me here.
I'm trying to wake up. Good morning and welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to have some thunderstorms early this morning. And probably a little
later,
and
then later this afternoon too. It's going to get a little gnarly out.
Yeah, yesterday was beautiful. I thought we'd get some yesterday. It was absolutely beautiful on the beach, gorgeous.
We got lucky all the way around yesterday, and then the day before that, I got caught in a massive thunderstorm. I'm more lightning than I'm used to.
When and where and how?
Right there at Highway 10 and Highway 77 and 20, up there in that area.
What time was this?
Crystal Lake. It was right around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and it lasts for about 45 minutes. And I'm telling you what, it came down. I was loading some cedar trees onto a trailer with a tractor.
Right.
And after the first one, I said, that's it, just go sit down somewhere. And climbed in the truck. And the lightning came down, and it came so close, you could feel the heat from the lightning, and then you heard an explosion, and then you heard the thunder.
Right.
Oh, it happened faster than when I just explained it. And I mean, it was scary.
Yeah,
what's
weird?
You can feel the heat from the light.
We would be down in Southwest Florida, lightning capital of the world, and
I think
at 3 o'clock, to get off the golf course, get off the playing field. There was a football player at Manor High School that was struck and killed by lightning. It was terrible. I mean, it was bad. Now everybody else got off the field. He went out. He was hitting a sled near the field house, hit him, killed him. And we would see people that would come down there in summer, vacation, whatever, play golf out there.
Oh, yeah.
And we would see them outside with it lighting like it was. We're like, they have no clue how dangerous this is bad. And they'd have to get the people off the course. Hey, get in here, you got enough percent.
They'd say, that's all right.
Well, they thought they were sitting in a golf cart, they'd be okay.
Yeah.
Lighting down there is deadly. I mean, it's deadly. Man. You got to be careful. You got to be careful anywhere.
And the real thing that really depresses me is the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile flipped over on its side on a Chicago highway, Highway 293, I think, interstate. Flipped over, Wiener on its side. It was awful. The bun was cracked. There was a crack in the bun.
Well, hopefully nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt.
God, we're talking about, at Bay High School, the little girl, Glenn's here on the phone. He just walked out of the studio kind of rudely, but he's on the phone. I think Fred Goodwin. But anyway, Bay High, and I think Fred was the principal then. Bay High had a girl walk between the classes and got struck and killed on Bay High's campus. Can you? I mean, that's terrible.
Did they have like a?
Yeah, they got open spaces.
Corridor?
They got open spaces everywhere. All these schools.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, usually if you got buildings on either side of you, you might stand a little chance of.
You would think it would hit the
building.
building.
And they were showing a video of some kid who, and I mean, it wasn't raining or anything, just cloudy, and it was going to get ready, and this kid was. Just shut the building. I felt that, and this kid was had a weed eater in his hand. And he was walking towards the tree that he was going to weed eat around, and be finished. Then he was going to take cover. And that lightning, the security camera, caught him. And that lightning came down. I mean, you're close to a tree with a big metal weed eater pole in your hand, and that's not good. Yeah. Both times I've been struck, I've been working at radio stations. Yeah. Once in Tennessee and once in Kentucky. So when I start seeing lightning, my hands are off of everything. Of course, this equipment is, because it's digital, is very well insulated, so I'm not a whole lot worried about it. But you won't see me grab this metal microphone stand or anything like. I mean, it didn't directly come through the window and blast me. It went through the equipment and popped all the grounds and everything like that. So it had nowhere else to go. And, back in those days, they had a big metal board with big metal knobs on it, to turn everything up and down, and it fired me up. I mean,
what's so hard about getting inside a car, getting inside a building,
and waiting
just
it
be
out.
smart. I mean, I've seen, and don't run to a car. Don't run into. If it's storming, stay where you're at until it's gone. Yeah, just be safe. Be smart. Hey, we got some breaking news. What's going on down at what did Russ do? What did Russ do?
I want to say a big fat congratulations to Russ down at David Adamson's Fine Jewelry and Design. He is now an owner, and he has a new partner, Amber Anderson. She's got 26 years of experience right here in Bay County. Yeah. They're the only jewelry out there, only jeweler out in Lynn Haven. So congratulations to him, new owners and partners. Mm-hmm. I guess that's a combined experience of 45 years, and it's the same great service. But they're going to have some killer deals to kind of clear out inventory. He happened to be setting something up with one of his distributors or customers for another estate sale while I was there.
Oh, wow, good.
So I kind of
last one was outstanding.
Yeah, it was, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
If you can dream it, they can build it.
Yeah,
they can create
it. That's all you got to do is, give them some kind of a rough drawing on a napkin.
Russ is like Ryan Mulvey. He's a big 49ers fan. Big time.
Yeah. I couldn't get out of there without him sticking it to me a little bit.
Yeah. We all be proud of me because we didn't say a word. We kind of knew what was happening, and I kept teasing him. I said, I won't say much.
Yeah, you didn't even tell me.
He told me not to tell anybody.
And you didn't. And I told him you didn't tell me. I said, well, what are you talking about? Congratulations. You having a baby or what? And he said, no, I'm the new owner of David Adamson Fine Jewelry. And
is David going back to Italy?
Yes, he is. He's gone.
He's already gone
He's
down?
gone.
Wow. Well, I didn't get to say goodbye. I like him. Good people down there, really. Amber's a beautiful, great lady. Jill and her talking. I met her. She's a good girl. And again, anything you can dream of, they can create it right there here in Bay County. Anything that's been destroyed, you want it corrected, you want it fixed, they don't send it off to somewhere and it sits around for 6 weeks. They fix it right here in Bay County, right here.
I got my stones replaced.
Yeah, you needed them. You got some old.
So that was a good thing.
Yeah. That's a really good thing. Well, Glenn, where are you? We got a phone caller? We got a call. I think we got a call. Give us a second and let's take this phone call. Let's take it. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing? It's Coach Mike with Lynn Haven Raiders.
Hey, Coach Mike, what have you been doing, big guy?
We were just talking about Lynn Haven, Mike.
Just been working, making it through the summer, the dog days,
Yeah, I know. Let's get through another 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was just calling because, it's getting to be that time again. My boys are cranking up. We got a big tournament, actually. We play our first game next weekend. out there at Public Sports Complex. We're playing in a huge tournament. It's a Battle Youth Championship. Teams from Oregon, California, Texas, North Carolina, they'll all be coming down and competing in a big tournament for 4 days. It'll be live on Peacock. It's a pretty big deal for my program, and I'm excited for my boys to get the opportunity.
All right. Now tell everybody what sport. Some people might not know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I do. We coach youth football from ages 5 all the way up to 14.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you say it one more time? I couldn't hear him.
Oh, we coach ages youth football from 5 to 14 years old, and we also do cheerleading too.
And how many teams are coming down here for this? How many teams?
There'll be 90. Right now, it's sitting at 90 teams.
Wow. Bring that money to Bay County.
Yeah.
That's
$20 a day.
Unbelievable. Now, go back again. Tell me what day it starts.
It's August 1st through the 4th at Panama City Beach Sports Complex. We're the only local team in it, and I think there's only about 4 teams all across Florida in it.
Now, is this going to be full contact?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's football season.
Wow, that's awesome. 90 teams down here.
I like the way he said that. Oh, yeah. that sounds like fun.
Can you? I mean, I can't believe they keep moving everything back. I mean, I remember when we played, we didn't even start until after Labor Day, as far as games and things like that. I think our first game was like the middle of September.
So how we do it, we kind of opened up something new this year. We feel like as coaches last few seasons, your typical how it works in youth football is the kid puts on a helmet and shoulder pads about 3 weeks before the first game.
Okay.
And it just does not lead to success. It doesn't lead to good tackling, good forms. It's rushing coaches through concepts. It's just not good. So we put on pads about a month earlier, started slowly and building the kids up, and now we've been running full contact and plays for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So we should have a little head start, but we're doing preseason this year. We're actually going to play like 3 or 4 preseason games before we even start our season.
Yeah.
So that when my boys are ready, they're ready to play.
What time do you guys practice? Late at night?
We typically start at 6.
Okay. Everybody gets off work. Yeah.
Yep. 6 to 8 is what we try to do. I'm lucky I'm over there in Lynn Haven by the water, so we have a nice breeze and stuff, so the sun hasn't been too bad.
Yeah. I can't believe how quickly, it was like the NFL. I mean, you guys start before the NFL does. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, how long is that season going to go? When will be your last game?
I will run till December.
Wow, that's a long year. Good Lord. How many games you guys play
ball.
How many games you play this year?
The goal is to play about 15, 16 games, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Just like the NFL.
My parents and my kids want to play. To be honest with you, these not under that bet. When I played, we played 7 or 8 games, right? I'd play 1 game. My parents would be worried that I'm tired, but I'd take off my gear and go around back and play a game of pickup football for 4 hours. So you're going to tell me that this kid is tired? You know, really, a kid's only getting about 6 to 7 reps a game. I'm going to make sure they're maximized to the max.
I think we used to play, I want to say 9 or 10 games when we were small in Montgomery. And it was tackle all the way through. We didn't have the flag league and all that kind of stuff. It was just different. And you know what's weird? Now they don't even do 2-a-days in college. I used to dread it. I mean, 2 solid weeks in that heat, it was brutal. If
I could get my mama to do 2-a-days, Lynn Haven Raiders be doing 2-a-days.
You're tough. You can go through all that. Man.
Yeah, we definitely we do the board drills and we do all the old school drills. Our kids are definitely we're making them tough. If you want to come play for us, you got to be able to handle football. Call us back when it gets closer next week. We'll talk some more about the first game. Yeah, definitely. I should know some time by Thursday, and I'll have some teams back and give you guys.
Maybe you can take some time out and come on in the studio and sit and chat with us a little bit.
Yeah, I might be able to do that one of these days. That'd be real nice.
All right, but listen, we got to take a break.
Have a great day, guys.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you? Do we have somebody else running the show now?
We do.
Yeah.
The guy I used to work for 26 years.
Producer, it's my job.
Yeah. That ain't your. I'll tell you your job in the break. I'll let you understand your job.
Let's make sure this is on the break. Okay?
Yeah, let's do it on the break. Hey, listen, we already talked about Russ taking over at the jewelry store. We got legendary J. Michael's restaurant today, world famous J. Michael's spaghetti, and then over in Beef O'Brady. Wednesday's a special day for eating.
Yep.
If you're over that way in Lyndhaven, you definitely want to go to Beef O'Brady's in Lyndhaven. Their special day, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. So we got two great locations, two great specials going on today. And Charlie Corner's got a place going on every single day. They got a big special going on. But I will tell you what Charlie's doing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Friday night, fried or grilled fish, baked beans, cheese grits, French fries, roller tea. Saturday, we got the shrimp special, fried or grilled, and then Sunday, the big one, the Glen Manley big one, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, cream corns, roll, and a tea, right there at Charlie Corn's place. Also, don't forget about Stevenson Air Conditioning. Man, Wildcats, it feel good in here, what?
It feels perfect.
It couldn't happen better
I'm glad I'm in
right
here,
now.
not out there. That's for sure.
Walked in here, I mean, I could fall asleep, right? I'm trying not to. Stevenson Air Conditioning's number one, not even closed. They're there for you anytime, day or night. Give them a call. They'll be out there quickly, and they'll get the job taken care of. They do a great job. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Just like Chuck Tucker and South Oak Title and Closing, for all your real estate closings, it's Chuck Tucker. The elites use it. All the big wheels down on 30A, multi-million-dollar homes, Mark Coward, they all use South Oak Title and Closing. Beth Movey, they all use South Oak Title and Closing. Glenn Manley, they all use. Who'd you have a phone call? A legendary man who's called you.
Mr. Fred Goodman, who used to be the principal at forever.
How many years was it?
Gosh, 26, 27, somewhere.
That's incredible.
So he, big sports guy, big academic guy. Yeah. So,
Well, you didn't come back here and slap me, so that's a good thing.
No, he has good things to say about you, actually.
Oh, good. Good job. But I like him. Yep. All right, let's take a break. We get back, we'll let you know what we're doing. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's a guest day.
Yeah.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging, strike three.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, definite thunderstorms and light rain and a high of 86 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. Likely thunderstorms and light showers tonight and warm near 79. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light rain and 88 tomorrow. 88 and a variety of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Love a great deal? This is the big one. The Big One sales event is going on now, and you can get 3.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on Camry's new elevated design. Make every drive count and get 2.99% on the stylish Corolla. Rule every adventure and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or enjoy the power and get 1.99% on the tough Tundra. Come see us for the big one at Panama City Toyota.
Offer ends July 31st. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com for details.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linden. Call 850-320-8388.
And here we go.
The number one SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Kentucky rain keeps pouring down, and up ahead's another town that I'm walking through. With the rain in my my shoes. Searching for you.
Is that guy's incredible, huh? Is he not unbelievable?
That was supposed to be a little sunshine in your day with some Kentucky rain.
Yeah.
Right.
I love Elvis, man.
Did I say that right?
Is that it's the name of the new bourbon, Kentucky Rain? Is that what you brought?
He's still making money. He's still making money.
Yep.
Him and Michael Jackson are making more dead than all the other guys combined. I mean, it's like unbelievable. The amount of money
like all the famous artists, that do paintings and stuff like that. Their stuff becomes more valuable
over time
after they pass away.
Yeah, but think about it. He started singing back in 54, 56, something like that.
Yeah.
And now he's still it's just as popular as ever been. Everybody knows who Elvis is. I mean, he's still got it.
And all of his memorabilia and Graceland and all that stuff.
If I get time, I'll talk another story, something else I never knew he did that was unbelievable. He just had a good heart. He's a good person. Kind of like Glenn. He always giving back. Oh, my buddy Richard Sanders, he just said that Grand Slam World Series baseball, older kids, mainly 14 to 18 years old, 75 teams are at the Publix Gulf Coast State College. Excellent recruiting opportunity for colleges. This is incredible, man. Grand Slam. Remember that baseball Grand Slam? They do a great job with that. So, and every time they come down here, they're putting money in everybody's pocket. We're all making money off this. Everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you, people. Thank you, Richard, for making this happen. We don't have a statue for Richard. You know what? Richard Sanders. Yeah. Before he dies.
To be a pitcher,
before you got to reward people before they get in the ground.
That's true.
What are we waiting on for you and Tommy? Let me tell you what they did at the University of Alabama. In the old days, remember you had to be gone before they would name something after you. Mm-hmm. Auburn was the first university to ever do this, as far as I know. Suge Jordan was the head football coach there for 25 years. They named the stadium after him while he was still coaching and still alive. Paul Bear Bryant at the University of Alabama, they did the exact same thing. After Auburn did it, Alabama goes, whoa, wait a minute. So they named it Paul Bryant. Right. They named streets after him, but they named the stadium, Bryant-Denny Stadium, after him while he was alive. Nick Saban now, they was the first rumor it was going to be Saban Bryant-Denny Stadium, which is way too much.
Right.
And what they did, they went ahead and did it. It's all official now. They voted on it. The Board of Trustees voted on it. It's Nick Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
It's like Bobby Bowden Field at Doak
Steve Spurrier at the Swamp. Yeah. So they were all alive.
Right. I have a street named after me in Auburn, Glen Street, Glen Avenue.
Yeah, you got a couple of bathrooms named after you too over here at Arnold. I mean, I can show you one of them.
Yeah.
I visited one of them.
Is it still up in the bathroom?
Yeah, we visited one a lot. And let's go visit Glenn. Let's go give Glenn something. Anyway, no, but I just think it's great that you recognize people have done a lot of great things for you in the community, in the whatever business it's in. Like Richard's done a great job for Bay County, bringing all these sporting events here to Bay County. The money being made.
That new facility is magnificent, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Publix. Are you kidding me? That's the first time I went when Arnold played South Walton, one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen in a high school baseball game. That was incredible. What a game!
But if they're really going to be Public Stadium Park, they need to give you 2 for 1, like they do at the Publix store.
Buy one, get one free.
That's right.
I think they did that double hitter. Call it a double hitter, Glenn.
We love BOGO.
Well, don't you think you should recognize people while they're still living, while they'll know you appreciate what they did?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they do it at Florida State. They do it at Alabama, Auburn. I mean, they do it at most places.
They say, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
So I guess
we got to get something done for Glenn and Tommy Santamont before I kick it in.
And Doc Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, Doc. 25 years. I'm glad you brought that up. 25 years. He's sacrificed his weekends to take care of Bay County athletes. Jerry, I hope you're listening. Coach, I hope you're listening. Steve Moss, I hope you guys are listening. We have got to honor this man for everything he's done for our students here in Bay County. There's no doubt about that. And most of these counties around the state of Florida do these things we're talking about now. They do recognize things. They do recognize and appreciate the people that work there. I cannot believe. If it's a school board member and they leave, oh my God, they bend down and kiss. They do everything for them.
And then they leave town.
And they move away. They named the stadium after something. They moved away. And you can swing a purse and get famous around here. I mean, I just think you honor the people, and I'm not being disrespectful whatsoever. I'm making a joke.
Very brave of her. Yeah,
we all think the world of her. There's no doubt about that. I'm just kidding.
Great teacher too.
But I look at Tommy Santamont, 23 years as a Bay County athletic director, and nothing. I mean, I know why one of them didn't want to do anything for it, but why they don't do it now, I have no idea. But anyway, I'll get off my soap opera. High school football is getting ready to get cranked up, Glenn.
Monday, they start practice.
Can you believe that we just got through talking about what's going on? The youth leagues are already playing. Right. Goodness gracious alive. It's just like starting back further and further into the summer. Remember back in the old days, school didn't even start after Labor Day.
Right.
Right? Am I correct about that?
You're right.
Was that the right holiday I mentioned?
I think so.
I think. Is that right? Labor Day's in September? Yeah. Okay. I just made
sure.
Since
you didn't labor as a coach.
I never had much labor. Yeah, my wife had a lot of labor twice.
I'm glad you said that.
Thank you, Wildcat. Anyway, that's awful hot, man.
It is. You know, and nowadays we had to go when we were growing up. We had to go by what the coach said. Nah, it's not hot out here. I'm not sweating. And you're
not allowed to talk about it.
Wearing all those cotton jerseys and pants and oh man,
giving you salt tablets.
Oh, yeah, no water but salt tablets.
Leather helmets.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. I'll never forget being in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and it was so hot, so humid, and our field was down on the ground, and they had all these trees. And they had these they didn't want anybody to watch practice, so they had everything closed in. And you're talking about you're down the ground, you look up. We used to take our football team down, and all the coaches were going, my God, it's miserable here. And the wind couldn't get to you. The sun's blaring down, trees everywhere, bushes everywhere. You was like they just want nobody to see what you're doing. And it was so hot, so miserable. And when you walk out the door in the mornings, you could feel it. Then after the first practice, you had meetings before practice, you had meetings after practice. Then you would go back and have lunch and get to sleep for a while before you went to your next meeting. So everybody would be sleeping. Nobody was up moving around. Everybody was sleeping, and you set their alarm. They even had the trainers come out and beat on the doors to get you up for the second practice because you were worn out, man. It was 2.5 hours of hell. And then you walk out, and you'd open that door, and that heat would hit you after being in that air conditioner sleeping. You're like, oh my God, I hate this.
Well, over there, I don't know if they've changed it, but the Florida State football practice fields are down in that little thing too, where the street goes around now. How they built the street.
That's kind of down.
There's no wind in there either.
Right. So it's miserable.
Yeah. We used to go to the camps. We'd take the kids and go.
Yeah.
Now you know how Dracula feels in the morning when that sun comes up. I mean, it would be burning. So
I used to like going over to those coaching clinics and stuff over there watching the practice. So. But then that second practice, you go out there for another 2 hours and 45 minutes, 2 hours, 45 minutes. Then you had, again, meetings before practice, meetings after practice, and then you go eat, go to another meeting, watch film of practice, and then get to go to bed. They didn't have to check bed check back then. Right. And that was 2 solid weeks, and you were miserable. And if you survived without getting hurt, it was almost impossible. You get banged up, and you'd always had some major injuries. It was really bad.
Well, it just teaches you have to fight through fatigue and stuff like that.
What do they teach you now? You don't even do 2-a-days.
Well, they're taking.
You just have so many hours a week, Glenn, you can even practice.
Well, you can. Hopefully, we don't have a lawyer sponsor, but lawyers got involved in a lot of things. But
they teach you how to negotiate contracts.
That's true.
Now they should.
They should. Before I left, we had the heat index thing. If it got over a certain thing, you had to take them in. All right, and we had the lightning meter, and
we had none of that.
So that's what I'm saying. But now, what's really good, there's actually a weather station on top of Tommy Oliver Stadium. It's like it reads it immediately. So when you're down there, and we had a weather app on their phones, all the head football coaches and ADs. So wherever there was a lightning strike, it was immediate where it was to the stadium or the practice field where your location was. And so somebody may say, oh, it's only 5 miles away, but that would be their weather station where their phone picks up. I said, we're standing on ground zero, so we know exactly where it is.
Right.
And
I like that.
Yeah, that is. That's
you
good.
can't play around with lightning.
No,
Plus,
you can't.
other lightning apps, it takes so many minutes for that satellite data to get up there and then get to a cell phone, then get to your cell phone.
Yeah, but
so they're 1 or 2 minutes behind on other apps.
Right, but you're right.
You're talking about
ground zero. Yeah. So they put that in. That was fantastic.
That's
and then one of the best things we did too was the humidity, the meter, the temperature meter, and so it would just, so as soon as it got over 103, you had to bring them in. I mean, it was
our coaches. I remember back, only one coach I had would keep you out there when it was still lightning and then get you off when it got closer. But most of the other ones, even way back in the 60s, they got you off the field pretty quickly. And I'll tell any coach out there at whatever level, if there's even a chance of lightning, get them off the field, man. It's not worth it.
If you see one, if on the map it's way away, you just get them and go.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We just talked about a legend, Dr. Chad Mitchell. Any type of injury, go see Chad Mitchell. Also, don't forget about El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, one of Glenn Manley's favorite places. Every Thursday, they have karaoke down there. It's a great place to have a birthday party. Great, big, huge facility. Lunch specials Monday through Friday, but they're known for their happy hour. You buy one and you get one free. We're talking about draft beer, margaritas, yes, margaritas, and house wines. You cannot beat it. Go check it out. Tell David we sent you down there. Right across the street from the Navy base, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Rudy's Barbecue, the best barbecue you can get from the great state of Texas. Rudy's Barbecue is, I think we're the only Rudy's Barbecue in the state of Florida, by the way. Outstanding. They cater. We got all these teams down there. Guess where they go eat? They all love barbecue. They're going to head down to Rudy's. The Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Go check it out and try the turkey plate. It's outstanding. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Also, don't forget about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. 2 great locations. Pier Park on 23rd Street. We got all these kids playing these youth leagues, already started practice. They need to have their parents go by and see Jason at either one of these locations and their coaches. And what's the things you're taking there from their Wildcat?
I got the glucosamine for the joint and bone.
For the heat.
And then there's little packets, I don't know, they're hydration packets. Just mix with 8 ounces of water and shake them up. And
they should have that out there all the time for these guys. These kids.
That's good. And it tastes good, too. Tastes like apple. Mine tastes like apple.
Good stuff for you. Hey, the legendary Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, call Dr. Ward. Make an appointment. Go by and see him. 5 minutes can save your life. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for college football and the Auburn Tigers.
He dives! He's in! Touchdown Auburn!
We heard you, Tiger fans. So this season, we're airing every single game. And you can take that to the bank.
And picked off in the end zone!
Plus, the biggest games in the SEC and around the country play here on your official station for college football, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Take control of your adventure and discover the new Kia at Bill Burr Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Burr Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in an all-new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per $1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/3/24.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ward. Doc, how you doing, sir?
I'm having a great morning. How about you guys?
Couldn't be better. Glenn's with me, Wildcat's with me. Nothing gets better than that. Nothing.
He's looking for free lunch.
Yes, I am, matter of fact. Hey, I hadn't talked to you in a while. You been doing okay?
Yeah, just we were last week. My son did a baseball camp at University of Florida for middle schoolers, and my daughter did a soccer camp at UF as well. And then we were on a cruise ship this weekend. So yeah, it's kind of having a little summertime enjoyment.
There you go.
Well, let's go back to that baseball camp because that's important to people. Football camps at Florida State, baseball, basketball. People go there that take the sport seriously. It helps. I think it helps. We used to take our team every year to a camp. How did they do? Grade them. How did the coach do? How did the staff do? Facility-wise, everything. Give us a little breakdown on the baseball camp at Florida.
So basically, they their middle school camp is limited to 55 kids only. You sign up for specific positions, so that that's kind of how they do the teams to make sure each kid that's there knows how to play position. So it's kind of different than one of these like all the kids show up and it's all like super random. So they made 5 teams of 11, drills all morning with UF coaching staff. Mike Rivera actually kind of ran most of it. He played on the 2017 College World Series championship team. He's the catching coach for UF. Players were there as well. I think Tyler Shelnut and Dale Thomas participated in the camp. Then they play games against each other in the afternoon. So actually, Jackson's team had tied for the best record at 3-1. Dude, there was this one kid there. There's no way he was only 12 years old, and he actually hit a ball. And all the games were played on at the ballpark that the Gators play on, too, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
And there was one kid hit a ball in BP all the way to the warning track. Like, I was like, no way that kid just knocked it 360 feet, but he did.
Oh, my God.
Well, he probably visited Max Fitz.
Yeah, he was with Jason Kovaleski quite a bit. There's no doubt about that. Hey, but did you, as a coach, because I always picked up something. I'd go to these different camps and I always try to learn something. And you can come away with one thing, and I think that's good. Did you pick up anything that can help you as a coach? Did you see a drill? Did you hear anything from one of those coaches that you can use at your coaching staff?
Well, so I'll be honest. Parents weren't allowed on the field, so you really couldn't. I mean, you could see some things they were doing, but you couldn't really hear what they were doing. So I didn't really pick up that much to carry forward. But like I said, it was a lot of fun. And then they did raffles at the end of each day for some cool prizes. And so Jackson was a lucky winner of a 2023 College World Series poster signed by all the players. So he's got, with that one, you got Wyatt Langford, you got Hurston Waldrop, Jack Paglione. So yeah, that was a pretty cool little bonus for the camp if you want a raffle.
Yeah. Next time you go, tell them you're the head coach of a team. They usually maybe not. I don't know. Everybody's different. But I used to really enjoy going to those camps. We went to Troy one time and spent a lot of time with Larry Blakeney up there. They took care of us and just getting on the chalkboard and things like that. I'm glad you took your son to that too, because I think that makes him better. I encourage anybody out there, if you can afford it and you can send your kid to these different camps, whatever sport they're involved in, it really truly helps you. There's no doubt about it. They're at a totally different level there in college, what they teach and what they. But they got that's all they do. I mean, they're experts at what they do.
And from a price point, it really wasn't that bad. I think it was like a little over $500 for the 3 days, and lunch was provided, and they give your kid a bunch of like free Gator swag too. Like he got like three Gator baseball shirts, two shorts, a hat. So you got $150 worth of baseball swag, as part of what you're paying too.
Did they house them? Did they spend a night on campus, or do you have to keep your own kids at a hotel or something?
Yeah, we just rented a house on Verbos in the summertime, man. I mean, obviously it's hard to get those houses during football season, but summertime Gainesville's got a lot of options. And by the way, Tallahassee has a lot of options too. I know the Link Jarrett camps that they do at FSU. I got some friends who sent their kids to that, and they do a specific. They do the week-long ones, which again is just kind of a free-for-all. Whoever shows up, all different levels, and then they do I think at FSU they call it the elite camp.
Yeah.
And you want to do the elite camp if your kid's like playing travel ball already.
Wow. Lynn, do you want to ask some?
No, I was just going to say, also in these camps, you get to see the competition, and you get to play against different people other than the ones you're around all the time.
Right.
So I think that's good, too.
As you get into high school, there's usually a lot of recruits there, and people like we do, and you'll see some schools that bring their teams, and that's a good point. They get to pick, hey, this guy over here is pretty good. Hey, I'm going to ask you about the pitching. At that level, how do you think they did with the pitchers at that level? I mean, do they show them anything? Talk about that. What do they get into with the pitchers? What's some of the things they do with the pitchers down there?
They did some bullpens with each of the kids who were signed up to pitch, and then you got to do at least 2 innings. Some kids got 4 innings, some kids got 2 innings. It just ended up where they were on the rotation. But there was a pretty wide variety in level of pitching. So there were some probably kids that were more rec level pitching, but then there were a couple of big kids throwing some serious heat too.
Well, did you see any other kids that you were familiar with in this part of the state down there for this camp, or just your boy?
Yeah, well, we had just signed up Jackson, but yeah, there was a kid that plays for University Academy baseball team that was there and ended up on Jackson's team too. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see some people that you didn't know were going to be there, and they were there.
Well, you saw one that could hit the ball. One stood out there. What about do you see anybody that's going to be a superstar as far as pitching? Did anybody stand out above everybody else?
At this age, it's really hard to know who's going to be an elite pitcher because they haven't hit their growth spurt. And I mean, a couple of kids looked like they had already gotten into growing, but most of the kids were still throwing like 50 to 60. It's not going to be till they get 13, 14 where they start throwing 70 plus.
All right, we got Dr. Ward with us. Doc, we're going to give you some time about your business. Skin cancer. I got to come back in. I'll call, made an appointment. I want you to check something out.
You may have to take his head off this time.
Yeah, that's what Glenn wants you to do. But everybody's out in the sun, and everybody's talking about, how the weather's changed and everything. I don't know, But the bottom line is we're out there in it. We didn't protect it when we were younger, so now we're paying the price now. So we're trying to get the message out there, protect your skin. Talk about some of the things we can do to protect our skin, especially for these young kids. My granddaughters, we're taking them to the water park a lot. They're out on the boat, on the beach. They're being exposed pretty well at a young age, and we all are. So what can we do to help prevent the bad things that happen in the future?
Well, so one of the biggest things you can do is, the sun and UV index is the highest from 10 to 2 every day. So, if you're going to be outside, try to think about doing it earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon. Great sun protective clothing now. So, have them wear a hat. Wear sunglasses, wear rash guards, because, you don't get, you can't misapply a rash guard. It's on, it's protecting your skin. And then on the other, if you do have exposed skin, clearly wear sunscreen, put it on before you go out, reapply it after you've gotten in the water and toweled off. And really just don't get burned. Sunburns are the worst. And then whatever you do, don't let your kids ever use tanning beds. I don't even know if there are any businesses that have tanning beds anymore for kids, which is awesome, because most people got the message that those tanning beds are bad for you.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely crazy. Let me ask you this. The sunscreen, the lotion you put on, what number? I mean, they have them 20, 30, 50. What's the number that you recommend?
Well, the recommendation is generally SPF 30 or greater, but, I mean, if you're there buying sunscreen and they got 30, they got 50, they got 70, they got 100 plus, it all costs the same, you might as well get the 100 plus, because all that just means is if you end up not putting as much on an area that needs protecting, you're more protected if you're wearing the 100 plus.
All right, and where are you located? Give us your location. Get ready to count.
So we have 8 convenient locations in the area in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Cafuniac Springs, Bonifay, and Mariana.
I tell you what, man, get in there and see Dr. Ward does an incredible job. I know this for a fact. Everyone in our family goes sees him, and he is good at what he does. No doubt about that. Get out to Newbies, have a great time. Glenn, they're going to have a 4th one. Not 3, but 4. And the newest one will be over in St. Andrews. Cannot wait for that. And we'll give you more details on that later. But right now, Newbies 2 on the Curves place. Go watch all these baseball games are being played. And then you can head on down to the mothership, have a great time. The best bands, the best music in the Southeast. Brought to you by Charlotte, the beautiful Miss Charlotte. We love her. Get out, Newbies, have a great time. Tell them Coach sent you. Also, don't forget about Paparazzi Pizza. If you love pizza, that's the only one place to go. That is Paparazzi. They have a bar there now. You have a good time out there. Matter of fact, I sat there and talked to the guy. Really, he had a Bama shirt on. Smart guy. Loved it. Paparazzi Pizza was packed out when I was over there. My father, brother-in-law, mother, and sister-in-law, they love Paparazzi Pizza. When they come down, they want that. We went and got it. We had a wonderful time. Paparazzi. And don't forget the bakery. The Paradise Cake, the Napoleon, the Carrot Cake. They've got it all at Paparazzi. Big John's a retired police officer. Love him. Also, don't forget about Turpro Pest Control. You want that yard to look beautiful? Call Patrick. They'll come out. Your yard will look absolutely gorgeous. You hear me? Gorgeous. Beef O'Brady is Wednesday today. 10 sides, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. You cannot beat it.
10 sides and a wing.
Thank you, Glenn. And also, J. Michael's is the world famous J. Michael's spaghetti, only on Wednesday. You're going to love it. It will be packed out, believe me.
Yep.
We'll be right back with Dr. Ward, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many. I don't think they're going to fall apart completely.
No.
I mean, they're still Michigan. They're still going to be competitive, but Big Ten championship, I don't see it. I'm still not sold on Oregon either. Obviously, we'll find out pretty soon. You know, I think they've been anointed
right
a little early. That's just me. We'll see.
Weekday morning 7 to 9, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, definite thunderstorms and light rain and a high of 86 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. Likely thunderstorms and light showers tonight and warm near 79. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light rain and 88 tomorrow. 88 and a variety of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's SeaTow. SeaTow's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. SeaTow gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at SeaTow.com or call 850-234-2323.
Hi, I'm Andy Meadows, Chief Editor of Radio Update. What is Radio Update, you ask? It's an online publication specific to radio that shares innovative ideas about how to move our industry forward. Check us out if you're in radio or interested in getting into an industry that's over 100 years old and stronger than ever. Broadcast radio is now the largest mass medium in the United States. If you're like me and you have a passion for radio, or you want to put the power of radio to work for your brand, log on to radioupdate.com.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We hope you have a wonderful day today. We've got Dr. Ward on the phone with us right now. Doc, SEC Media Days just got wrapped up. We got the ACC going on. Big Ten Network, they've been having their Big Ten Media Days going on. But right now, I want to go over this with you. They have predicted that Texas and Georgia will play on December 7th for the SEC Championship game in Atlanta. Here's your ranking by the media after SEC Media Days. Georgia had 165 votes. Texas was number 2 with 27 votes. 3 was Alabama with 12. 4 was Ole Miss with 4. 5 was LSU with 2. Missouri was 6. 7th was Tennessee. 8th, Oklahoma. 9th, Texas A&M. Number 10 place, Auburn, Kentucky. Florida Gators were 12th. South Carolina 13th. Arkansas 14th, Mississippi State 15th, and last place Vandy. What do you think after Media Days? So what? You hear the coaches talk, you get some information, maybe some intel, and then it doesn't really matter. 2-a-days start. Well, they used to be 2-a-days. Fall camp's getting ready to get cranked up here in about another week. Then we can tell what's going on, who's injuries, who's healthy, and all that kind of stuff. But what do you think about SEC Media Days and this prediction here? Anything that ruffles your feathers?
No, not really. I do think, I think it kind of fell in line with most people's expectations. I think obviously Texas and Georgia have the most buzz. They got, the most very talented rosters. I think that, Alabama's not in the mix because, people want to see how they do with a new coach. There are a few teams there that seemed a little high, a little low. I do want to point out, did you see that two media need their credentials revoked forever because 2 people voted for Vanderbilt? Did you see that?
No. I didn't see that. Vanderbilt got two first place votes, which whoever that was should just never be able to comment on sports again ever. I did not know
Probably
that.
a little payola there. You had to read the bank accounts and stuff.
NIL money. All right, let me ask you this. I'm gonna test you and Glenn Manley and Wildcat. You can join in. The first ever. Now I'm not talking about the BCS. The first ever 4-team playoffs. When the first ever committee votes came out, the very first. Who was the number 1 team in the nation? And they're from the SEC. It's pretty easy.
I'd say Alabama.
First ever.
I'm going to say
Remember,
it's
it's the middle of the season.
Team from the north.
No, it's from the SEC. From the SEC.
Okay. Wow. Alabama.
Wrong.
Alabama would be too easy. Wasn't that the year that Mississippi State was really good until the wheels came off? I'll say Mississippi State.
The 1 year?
I tell you what, I know why this guy is a doctor, and I know why he got his degree from Florida. He's highly intelligent. Give him a hand.
Yeah.
Nobody would have got
The
that.
1 year, Mississippi
Nobody would have
State
got
did
that.
good, huh?
Mississippi Bulldogs made history. The first ever 14 playoff, the first ever rankings. They were ranked number 1. They stayed number 1 until they traveled to a big, huge stadium in the SEC, and they got beat. Does anybody know who the team that beat them to knock them out of number 1?
Well, that has to be Alabama.
Yes, sir, it was. I was at that game. Alabama Crimson Tide.
That's the only way he brings stuff up.
All right. Who was the second-rate team, Dr. Ward? They were out of the ACC, a very popular team out of the ACC.
I'd probably say Clemson.
FSU.
Florida State Seminoles were number 2 in the nation. Number 3, we go back to the SEC. Who was it? Their colors were not red and white.
Tennessee.
It was not Tennessee.
If I remember right, the state of Mississippi in general did pretty good that year, so I'm going to say it was Ole Miss.
You are close, my son. You were close. You didn't get the prize, but you were close. At number 4 was the Ole Miss Rebels, but from 2 small little states right there beside one another, 3 of the 4 were in the top 10. Were the top 4.
And it had to be LSU.
War Eagle, fly down the field. Number 3, the Auburn Tigers. Number 3. So number 1, the first time ever rankings, Mississippi State was number 1. Number 2 was FSU. Number 3 was the Auburn Tigers. Number 4 was Ole Miss. Who was number 5? Out of the Pac-12. They're the Cinderella team. Everybody's loving them right now. They got a wealthy booster. Oregon Ducks at number 5. No, we're gonna do the top 10. Number 6 from the SEC. We've been mentioning them. Who was it?
Alabama.
Yes. Number 7. One of you mentioned them a minute ago. They're orange. Number 7.
Clemson.
Tennessee. Number 8. Y'all will never get this one. Number 8 out of the Big Ten. They were destroyed in the first round in the Cotton Bowl by Alabama. Who was number 8 out of the Big Ten? I was at this game in the Cotton Bowl, too.
Penn State.
Wisconsin.
Michigan State.
Wow.
Michigan State. Number 9 out of the Big 12. You'll never get it. It's not Oklahoma. It's not Texas. Who is it?
TCU.
Not TCU. No.
Baylor.
No. They got a lot of big tornadoes in this state.
Texas A&M.
Oh,
No.
K-State.
Kansas State. Thank you, sir. I'm glad we got some highly intelligent people.
Well,
He's sitting there with all the answers.
I'm administering the exam, okay? All right, number 10. Number 10. This school, you either love them or you hate them. Number 10.
That could be Alabama.
That could be Tennessee.
Nope. Come on, Doc.
Double ants?
They always get.
Well, what conference? Notre Dame.
You got it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It had to be.
Yeah, that was the first ever. Notre Dame was number 10. Number 9 was Kansas State. Number 8 was Michigan State. Number 7 was Tennessee. 6 was Bama. 5 was Oregon. 3 was Auburn. And number 1 was Mississippi State. Who won the national championship that year? Who won the national championship the first year of the 4-team playoffs? And I'll give you a hint. Go ahead.
I believe that year that it fit.
Who'd you say?
Was it? Oh man. Were they in the top 10?
They were not even ranked in the top 10.
Oregon.
They were not even ranked in the top 15.
Oregon?
No, Oregon was ranked.
Okay.
Any Wildcat?
Ohio State.
You are correct. The Ohio State Buckeyes, from number 16th, first poll, they were 16th. They win the national championship. That's kind of crazy. It's hard to do that, to jump from 16th to even get in. Who did they beat in the first round? Who did Ohio State beat in the first round in the Sugar Bowl?
2-hour show.
Roll Tide. They beat Alabama.
I was gonna say, give us a hint.
They beat Alabama. And who were the other two teams that played? They were in the top 5.
Who was it? Oregon and FSU?
Oregon and FSU. I remember sitting there watching some of that game with Wes Burnham at Saltwater. And who won that game?
Oregon.
Oregon. So what two teams played for the national championship, Grim Alley?
Oregon and Ohio State.
And who won it?
Ohio State.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Doc.
You're smoking over there, Glenn.
I got some Florida stuff I never got
Doc
to ask.
could give up practice in medicine and do some sports trivia and win a few million bucks.
You got to
on
be
TV.
smart to go to Florida.
We could sponsor him.
You got to be highly intelligent getting there.
That's right.
Doc, what do you think? How much time we got? We got to go.
We got to go.
We got to go. Doc, we got to go. We got you next Wednesday?
I'll be here.
All right. Give us some love. Tell us again how to get up with you and where are you located?
Just give us a holler at 233-3376. It only takes 5 minutes to get checked head to toe and make sure your skin is healthy and cancer-free. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, Mariana, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Panama City Beach, or Port St. John.
Yeah,
awesome.
Be sure to tell them just because the sun's not out, the UV rays are still lurking.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got it.
I know. I got kids that they get burnt and go, the sun wasn't out. I go, oh, yeah.
Doc, I'll see you soon. You take care.
Yep.
We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, sir.
All right, see you guys.
And you got it right, all 8 of them, every time.
He's highly, I'm telling you, the guy's sharp now. No doubt about that. And there's no doubt about Wildcat, there's no doubt that you know where to go to get some great gifts for somebody you truly care about.
Absolutely. Like you said earlier, if you can dream it up, they can create it, and that's David Adamson's Fine Jewelry. And
they're going to keep the name the same?
Yes.
Okay.
I asked. It's one of the first things I asked. And Russ and his new partner, Amber, are
Amber's pretty
girl. And she knows what she's doing. She was actually creating a piece of jewelry with a customer standing right there going, oh, I like that. Oh, can we do this? Can we do that? And it was yes, yes, yes. Go out there, take your old jewelry, have it appraised, or you can sell it. If you, if you need some cash or you want to sell it and buy a different piece of jewelry, they're getting ready to have an estate sale pretty soon. And Russ says, hey, come on out. I'm ready to make some really good deals on some jewelry.
And they will.
Go out there.
They
830 Ohio Avenue. That's Highway 77. The only jewelry designer in Lynn Haven.
And all you got to do is tell him you love the 49ers. He'll give you a discount.
Oh, yeah.
Just say, hey, do I get a discount if I love the 49ers? See what he says.
Don't go in there wearing a Bengals shirt.
Yeah, really. Hey, also, if you're going to go out, just like this morning, a storm can blow up, like you talked about. Get out there.
Oh man,
anything can happen. You're going to be on that boat. You got to have CETO now.
Even though there's yellow flags out there right now, and you might think it's safe to go out on the boat, these storms can pop up, especially this time of year, and you don't want to be out there.
CETO.
Everything can break down on a boat, so you want to check out CETO.com or call Brandon locally at 850-234-2323, CETO.com.
Public awareness, public announcement right now to let everyone know you need to pay attention. This just came across the wire. We have some special issues happening right now, especially on Wednesday. Beef O'Brady's, 10 wings inside for $9.99, and at J. Michael's, their world-famous J. Michael's spaghetti. They're just letting you know to get out there and have a great time. Either one of these restaurants, only on Wednesdays. We'll be right back with the Alabama Crimson Tide.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show. You're listening to Inside Drive live. The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves win it!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, definite thunderstorms and light rain and a high of 86 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. Likely thunderstorms and light showers tonight and warm near 79. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light rain and 88 tomorrow. 88 and a variety of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Roll. Alabama Update is brought to you by the one and only Steverson Air Conditioning. Therefore, they're there for you anytime, day or night, throughout Northwest Florida. You have a problem, you call Steverson Air Conditioning. You got an old one, get rid of it, buy a new one. It's one of the few things you can purchase that actually pays for itself. Steverson Air Conditioning, number one. You want to get a service about every 6 months. It runs better, lasts longer, saves you money in your power bills. Steverson Air Conditioning. Matter of fact, we had them come out. They sent us a bill. We ain't paid yet. They sent us another one. I said, Julie, you got to pay my people, man. Anyway.
Everything's free.
Oh, real quick, just something to remind you. Don't be fooled because they changed the puppet. Same people are still pulling the strings. That's just something I will say about it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. Talking about the SEC network, whatever. All right.
No, it ain't.
Alabama Crimson Tide. We were asking you questions about the 2014 season we're talking about. The first time Mississippi State in the first rankings ever was number one. I think Bama was number 6. I was actually at Glenn the first time I ever walked in Jerry's World. This was unbelievable for me. It looked like a spaceship. It was huge. You go in there, and outside they had all these kind of events going on. Michigan State people there, Alabama people there. We were watching Clemson and Ohio State. I think it was Clemson, Ohio State. I think we were watching. I'm pretty sure that's who the other game was. Am I right about that?
The first.
Yeah, was it?
You're talking about the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oregon played FSU.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Okay, that's another. That's who we were watching then. Yeah. Anyway, we go to the Alabama. Maybe that's a different year. Maybe that wasn't the same year they played each other. But anyway, that game was incredible. When you walked in, you see the stadium for the first time. It was unbelievable. And they happened to have the TVs on, TVs turned on live as they opened the doors. I was one of the first ones in there, and for whatever reason, they zoomed in on me. So I was on national TV, and somebody sent it to me. I can still pull it up and show it to you. They followed me all the way in, and I see Coach up there doing his show, the ABC show. So they let me get in there where Coach Brown was, Julie, Mariah, Jared, and we were all there, 4 of us. And they let me get up by the set. I said, I played for him. And he looked over there and said, let him in. So they let me get up there. So he would talk like we're doing right now, very professional, doing great. As soon as it went to commercial, we'd have a conversation. We'd be cutting up, having a great time. As soon as they go live, he just turned like somebody totally different. And I could not believe Matt Brown remembered my dad's name. I hadn't seen him in years. And he's the guy has a photographic memory. He's highly intelligent. But we had a great time at that football game. But that stadium, if you've never been to Jerry's World, I don't care who's playing, it's worth it just to go see it.
Right.
NFL game, college game, it's unbelievable. Extremely expensive for drinks and food and stuff like that.
I guess so. We got to pay for all that.
Yeah, but it was something else, something I will never forget.
You know, Mac Brown interned under Coach Cobb at Bay High School.
Bay High School.
Yeah.
Yep. He played at FSU, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So but the thing was, when we named the Coach Cobb gym, I took a picture and sent it to him. He was at Texas at that time, and he sent me a nice long letter back about all the time.
He is such I love that guy. He's a good guy. He called Mike Livens. You know, he coached Mike. He was at Southern 1 or 2 years. He coached Mike, and when Mike was dying, Mike was in the hospital last 3 or 4 days of his life, and talked to him. And I know that meant a lot for Mike and his mother. You know, Coach had died before Mike did. But anyway, great man, unbelievable experience. But I want to talk about the Alabama 2024 college football season. This could be, hear me out before you say no way. This could be the most underrated Alabama team, heck, maybe ever. I don't know. Most people are predicting, like I am, Alabama to go 9-3. The over-under usually for Bama is 10.5, and now it's down to 9.5, which is unheard of. You know, Nick Saban, 16 years, double-digit wins. This year, they say, no, 9-3 regular season. Who knows what happens after the regular season? Saban, as great as he was, they call him the GOAT. He was there 17 years. You know how many undefeated seasons he had, as great as they were?
Probably 1 or 2.
Two. And we're talking playoffs, bowl games. We're talking not just 10 regular or 11 regular season games or 12, whatever the number was. We're talking about all of them. The great, to me, the greatest of all time, Paul Bear Bryant, 25 years at Alabama. And this is when they played 11 games and 10 games. They didn't play 12 like they do now. But all the years he was there, he only had 3 undefeated teams. 3. So as great as Bama is, it's hard to win all your games. I don't care who you are.
Right.
So they're saying this team 9 wins.
Too bad the selection committee didn't hear that last night.
Hush. Alabama has, this is incredible. What's the chances? What's the percentage of chance for Bama to go undefeated? Not the whole year, but just regular season. What is the chance by the computer experts?
Slim to none.
Yeah, 3.4% chance to have an undefeated regular season.
Here, you know, the thing is, they keep thinking that Alabama's talent's going to drop off because Nick is not there. And a
lot of them transferred out.
They did, but he got some in that could play. I still think they may be up to the 10 games. You know, it's just going hard.
Well, that's the reason they're saying this team's the most underrated maybe in the history of Alabama.
Right.
You made a great point, Glenn. That was my next thing I was going to hit in this article, what they said. Alabama, you take the last 3 years of recruiting and you average it up, whatever formula they use, Alabama, it comes in at number 1. So like you pointed out, there's still talent there. It's not like it's drying up. Not everybody left. And number 2, the head coach they hired, he can coach. DeBoer can coach. He can recruit. He's got the number 1 class in their country right now in recruiting. He beat Landing twice. And the last time, I think Oregon was favored by like 6. He beat them twice. This is a guy that everybody's saying that Oregon's going to be better than Ohio State. I don't get that, but everybody's saying it. A lot of people are saying, not everybody, a lot of people are saying it. All the love Oregon's getting, he beat that guy twice. All the love the head coach got, he beat him twice. Then in the playoffs, he beat Texas. Stark. Right. Alabama, they reached out to Stark. Do you want the job? He beat both of the guys that Alabama probably offered the job to before they offered to him. He beat those guys. The guy can coach. Now they're saying quietly, behind the scenes, people up there are saying, this could be the best Alabama team since 2020. What did the 2020 team do? I think maybe the greatest team in college football history. They played every game against 10 SEC games. They had to beat Notre Dame and Ohio State to win the championship. They go undefeated. They were loaded that year with athletes, NFL players.
That was 2020, right?
Yeah, and they're saying this team might be the best team since then. And it could be. It really could be. But I'm like,
there are other teams out there that are pretty much claiming the same thing.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. This year, picking games and going forward is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. Because, Glenn, in the past, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, they stockpile players. You can't do that anymore. Alabama's lost so many great players that transferred to Texas. Florida State, how many players left and went to Florida State? So every game you play, the other team has players. And it's hard to, just like I was pointed out earlier, Paul Bear Bryant only had 3 undefeated seasons in 25 years. Nick Saban only had 2 in 17. It's hard to do it. It's hard to get up every single game and play every single week. You got injuries, you get tired, you're worn out, you're not emotionally ready to play a football game. It's tough. So this team could surprise you. This team has a chance to surprise people, and I will be surprised if this team was to go undefeated in the regular season or the regular year. I still think they're going to lose 3 games. Because just the first year a head coach is so difficult. But who knows? He's a great one. He's an elite head coach. Who knows? I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong on that. But one thing I'm right on, 100%, I know for a fact, you can take it to the bank. Stevenson Air Conditioning is number 1.
Smart move.
Yeah, they're there for you anytime, day or night. Call them if you have a problem. They'll be out there. They'll solve all issues. They do an incredible job. Family owned, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason's crew does a great job down there.
Don't wait till it breaks down.
No, get
on now.
Yeah,
get
it service. Get it service. It'll run better, save you money. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number 1. And again, J. Michael's Restaurant is today world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. South Oak Title and Closing for all your real estate deals. You know who to go with. That's Chuck Tucker. That's South Oak Title and Closing. Ask Mark Coward. Ask Beth Movey. They'll tell you the exact same thing. Charlie Corn Place. Him and Lynn's had a restaurant since 1986. They do a great job. Every day they have a special. You pick out whatever meat you want. 3 sides for $11.20. The best country cooking you'll get. Great vegetables, great food. I love the BLTs down there myself. And they got a huge room, the manly room in the back. It seats up to about 25 people. They didn't wait till you were dead. Pretty cool. Hey. Charlie Corn's Place, you will absolutely love it. Same thing, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. You want Mexican food, you want to have a great time, you love happy hour, they got the best anywhere. Buy one, get one free. Where's it located? It's on Thomas Drive, right across the street from the Navy base. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Thursday night karaoke. Great place to have a birthday party. If you get injured, all these teams are down here, and they listen to ESPN. They listen at home. They listen to here. They love sports. If you get injured down there playing baseball, football, softball, whatever it is, call the legend, Dr. Chad Mitchell. He'll take care of you. We'll listen. He'll be back in the studio Monday. Looking forward to that. We'll be right back. Glenn Manley. FSU. A little bit of Auburn, but mainly FSU. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control. Store more portable buildings, reliable hydraulic solutions. Bill Bird Kia and Mid-South Lumber.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, definite thunderstorms and light rain and a high of 86 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. Likely thunderstorms and light showers tonight and warm near 79. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light rain and 88 tomorrow. 88 and a variety of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest members of the Panama City Beach Chamber to our vibrant business community.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber, all-in credit union. Captain Max's Bar and Grill. I can do all things pest control. Nations Real Estate. Panhandle Pet Waste Removal. Patches Pub and Grill. Sea Patriot Dolphin Encounter Jet Boat. Stroll, be local.
We're here to support your success and help you connect with our community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Eagle, hey, Martha Kinney, James Jenna Gualamar. And Martha's in town.
She is.
So I said hello.
She said hello back. I told her.
Auburn Tigers. We will be carrying the Auburn football this year. Looking forward to that. Andy Bertram will be back with us in August talking about the Auburn Tigers. I tell you what, they're doing a great job in recruiting. Hugh Freeze really feels like they're going to finish extremely strong. The Tiger, God dog it. Auburn Big Weekend.
Tiger Talk.
Big Cat.
Big Cat Weekend.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Big Cat Weekend is coming up July 27th, and they usually knock a home run that week. They got all the best players in the country, not just 2025 class, but 26 and even some 27 guys will be on campus for that. So
that's amazing how they have to keep going ahead. And
you have to. Yeah. If you don't, you're going to be left behind. You got to identify them quick, got to evaluate them quick, and hopefully you don't make a mistake, because if you don't get on them quick, they use that against you. Well, Georgia offered me before you do, Coach Hughes, Coach Freeze. Anyway, looking forward to that, how they do there. They open up fall camp real soon, August. They report. I think we know that yesterday report. But let me get into what's going on with recruiting right now. They made a cut. I know they want this kid, McCoy kid, out of Tupelo, Mississippi. Now, he's not in the class of 2025. He's a 2026 ball player. He came out with his top 12 teams. Auburn made the cut, which that's a good thing. Again, it's a 2026 class out of Tupelo, Mississippi. He is a big-time ball player. Everybody in the country wants him. He's one of the elite players in the country. There's no doubt about that. Here's his top 12 so far. Auburn, LSU, Oklahoma, Oregon, Penn State, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ole Miss, LSU, USC, and they also his home state, Mississippi State. Right now, as we speak, the first team that has the lead, they predict has the lead. There's no way of knowing this. Who knows, but this is what they're saying. 67.2%, the kid's going to wind up being an Ole Miss Rebel. We'll see about that. Again, guys that were 5 stars committed to Bama. Auburn flipped them. Auburn wants this kid big time. We will see how it plays out. But they got a lot of competition. It's real early. But keep an eye on this big kid from Tupelo, Mississippi, a big-time ball player. Defensive lineman, Auburn is in the chase, so that's a good thing. Glenn, we got Mark McLeod coming on at 8:30. We need to shut down Auburn. And Auburn is brought to you by Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. They got the 10 for 10 going on all the time, but today and today only. 10 wings and a side for $9.99. You cannot beat that anywhere. Pat does such a wonderful job at that restaurant. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. He's the best city commissioner Lynn Haven's ever had. Love you, Pat. All right, brother, what do you got for us today on the FSU Seminoles, brought to you by Newbies?
Yep. The brew and booze for me, I can tell you that right now.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I'll give a shout out to the Arnold boys soccer team. They got their rings the other day, and this is the second ring in 4 years. So those seniors now they've done a great job. So congratulations to them. Coach Hammond actually was a field goal kicker for me, and also played soccer at Bay High School. So He's a good guy. So I want to give a shout out to them because that's a great feat for them to do that.
Absolutely.
And they were ranked number 1 in the United States, and I think they have an All-American goalie. So congratulations to them. And also, we only do about 5 or 10 minutes of FSU. So some of you Florida Gators out there that text me the other day about why do FSU, you're upset because you may know what's going to happen in November when the Seminoles take on the Gators. So y'all just keep your crying towels till the end, okay? So and that goes out to somebody with initials name's PH. So you know who you are. Yeah. Listen, the Southeastern Conference Commissioners, Sankey said that I'm thinking meaning Georgia, we don't stomp our feet, we don't fly banners over places. Also, we wanted to let you know the strength matters more in the selection than the actual squad's records. So he wanted you to know that.
Who said that?
Mr. Sankey. It was a little shot at FSU, and then Coach Norville came on, and the ACC thing. First of all, he made tribute to Bobby Bowden when he wore the tie. That was a Bobby Bowden era tie, and he said, "I wore this last year. We won undefeated, so I'm not taking this baby off until something happens." He said Coach Bowden was a great example for young coaches coming up. Always had the right things to say and the right things to do. So he gave tribute to Coach Bowden. Then he said, "I don't disagree that Georgia was one of the top 4 teams if you're going into talent and ability." He said, but what happened on the field kept them out of the playoffs. He said they lost, so that kept them out of the playoffs.
And that's referring to what
he's going back to what Sankey said. And then he said, he said the thing for him is we didn't place a national championship banner anywhere. We didn't hang any banners. We didn't do that. He said back in December, he said, I am a little bit disgusted and frustrated with the way they selected it. And so if we're not going to play the games, let's don't play them if they don't matter. So then he got off of that and he started talking about the team and everything.
Well, can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Let's go back to what I understand where he's coming from. I agree with what he said. But where was Jim Phillips? Why did Jim Phillips protect FSU like the SEC commissioner was protecting Georgia?
I don't think he likes
FSU.
I don't think he understood what was going on, the negotiation that the SEC commissioner is putting out to the selection committee. I don't think he understood that. I think he was just going to let everything ride.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
The SEC commissioner was protecting Georgia, giving his thoughts. And Florida State's head football coach is the only one defending the ACC in Florida State. Jim Phillips doesn't say anything because he's upset with FSU.
Right. Well, we'll get into some of that too. Okay. And then Norvell was talking about this is another year, so we have to do what we need to do. And that's what his players echoed. They were a little upset, sure. Well, he said, when we get to be 50 years old, we'll never forget it. But right now, we have to concentrate on what we're going to do this year, and we have to show people that what we are. So, he's got some of them on board. FSU won 23 games in the last 2 years, and Coach Noble said we have 77 players back from the 2023 squad. So they're reloading. You obviously know that Coach Mr. Phillips did not say much about FSU. He really brought up nothing changes. I'm still gonna protect all the ACC teams, but he seemed to leave out Florida State more than he did.
Right.
And he pushed Miami, North Carolina State, North Carolina more than any other thing. And then he said that when there was absolutely no FSU players on the players to watch list, the ACC, or players of the year. There was not any of them named on that thing. But now some of the writers did vote for some of the players to be at all ACC, but there was no way that they had them on the ballot.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's still, and so they're, like I said, they're pushing Miami, North Carolina State, and partly Clemson, but he's staying away from those two, so I guess because nobody knows if they're going to leave or when they're going to leave. And then the other thing too is we talked about what conference they will try to get in, but if you go to the Big 12 was last in the money given out by all the conferences. The Big 10 was the first. They gave out $60.5 million per team. The SEC gave them $51.3 million. The ACC actually gave $44.8, but that's still a big discrepancy from the first to the third. And so then actually the Pac-12 gave out more than the Big 12. Pac-12 is $44.2 million, and the Big 12 was actually $33.6 million. So if you drop down to the Big 12, you're still defeating the purpose of catching up with the other things.
Don't you think they'll play FSU and Clemson more than the rest of them to get them in there?
Yeah, you know what they did for Colorado? They gave them a bonus.
$2.5 million.
But they didn't give them to anybody else. I think with those two teams going into Big 12, it will bring in more money.
Yeah.
So,
pay them more.
But if you look at it right now, they're the bottom league as far as payouts concerned. So,
what's the latest you hear? They're definitely going to go to the Big 12. They stay in the ACC. Somebody said they need to stay in the ACC. I think they're done.
I think both of them are done. But here's the other thing. I think the Big 12 really wants North Carolina and Virginia more than they might want FSU.
Who does?
I think the Big Ten wants them more than. But you never know.
You know what I heard the latest? It was they had an article. They said the Big Ten wants Notre Dame and Georgia Tech because academics.
Right.
And see, they're in the big, huge TV markets.
Right.
And we all know Notre Dame plays, everybody watches. But Atlanta's a huge market. And they mentioned in this article Tulane, but they said that was a long shot, but they did like that market. It's a small state. Louisiana's not that huge state, though.
But North Carolina and Virginia are academic schools, too. So,
right.
Who knows what's going to play out. But we're not, people are going to go to the university, really and truly, what people don't like to hear because of the athletic teams.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that, and so anyway, that's what's going on, and, that's the thing that's happening. We don't know where they're going to push them to. But on a big note, we noticed that Cam Akers had been released, or he got traded by the Rams. He is now signed a contract with the Houston Texans. He did that on Sunday, so he'll be playing for the Houston Texans. So,
all right, our FSU updates brought to you by Newbies. We have 3 great locations on beautiful Panama City. The breaking news is they will have a new location in San Andreas. Looking forward to that. We'll have more information on later. But if you're into sports, get on Newbies Field on the Curve. Watch all the baseball games are being played right now and have a great cold one. Shoot pool, have a wonderful time down there. And then later that night, the games are over, head on down to the mothership like you know you're going to do. And Charlotte's going to have the best entertainment for you than anywhere else you can go. The best bands in the Southeast there every weekend.
And if you have a team down here and your team's playing, be sure and stop by Max Fit Sports Nutrition and pick up a supplement package. Try it before you buy it. And they know their business. They're not just going to give you something just to be selling it.
And if you get injured down here, you're listening. I know you listen right now. I know you listen to ESPN. Wherever you live, you come here and play sports, you listen to it. If you get injured, call Chad Mitchell, make an appointment, tell him, hey, I got to get over there. This kid's been hurt. They'll put you in there. They do a great job. And he'll be back in the studio Monday. Looking forward to that. Rudy's Barbecue right down the beach from all those fields. Get on Rudy's Barbecue. Have the best barbecue you can get anywhere. Try the turkey's outstanding. And they cater. They'll bring it to you. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Bum, 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 bum.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominating performance.
So this year, we're giving away more tickets to Truist Park than ever before. Keep listening to win family 4-packs to experience the Atlanta Braves. From ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Let's see. Diamond stud earrings for Marcy, Bulova watch for Tommy, tennis bracelet for Cassie, and Keith wants a 14-karat chain. Oh, and Hannah wants those white gold hoop earrings.
Okay, guys, Santa gave me his list. He knows that Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the largest selection and lowest prices you'll find anywhere. We've stocked the cases, slashed the prices, and we're offering a free 6-month layaway on our entire jewelry selection. For a stress-free holiday, Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where Santa shops.
You're a real estate agent, not a social media expert, but you absolutely need a professional social media strategy. Stay on top of mind, top of feed, and be in more places. Introducing SocialStackPro.com, a tool for real estate agents that inspires your content with the power of ChatGPT built right in. Try SocialStackPro.com for free. Focus on building your brand, building relationships, and post like a pro with SocialStackPro.com.
It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full-service cabinets, countertops, and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
The Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! It's Wednesday. It's 8:30. You know what that means. But before we get into Mark McLeod, we want to give a shout out. Johnny Petronas, 96 years old, has passed away. One of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet. Did an incredible.
What a name in the sport, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What a great man.
Yes, absolutely.
Loved FSU, loved sports, did an unbelievable job at the restaurant. And I saw Jimmy the other day. And so we lost another great one. It's like the legends of Bay County, Panama City Beach, dropping left and right. I hate it, man. But Johnny Petronas was a great man, great family, and condolence to all them at Petronas family.
I actually had the pleasure of, when I first started teaching, I taught most of them, and then Jimmy came along, so at Jinx, and so, what a great people, great family, all kinds of great things.
Keep them in your prayers. All right, let's bring him on. The man, the legendary Mark McLeod. Hey, Mark.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How are you doing?
Doing well. I've recuperated from SEC Media Days. It was not easy. I was on the last flight out from Dallas on one of the airlines that was hit with the all of the issues with the technical issues. So thankfully, I made it back.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that affected a lot of people. We one of our former coaches, one of my buddies died, and we were going to go to the funeral, and everything got screwed up with flights and all this kind of stuff. My brother-in-law and his wife are in New Orleans, getting ready to fly out to their place in Montana, and they told them the earliest they would be able to get their flight were like 2 days later, and that's not for sure because everything's broke down. They just drove on. He has a condo here also, so he drove on down here to Panama City Beach and had a great time. So that affected a lot of people. That was absolutely crazy. SEC Media Days, I want your opinion. I watched a little bit of the Big Ten Media Days. I watched a little bit of the ACC Media Days. But it's just to me, and I'm a homer, I am an SEC guy, but saying that, I am being truthful that I watched the Big Ten. They had everybody out on a football field. They have it at the stadium there, the Lucas Stadium. They're going to keep that game there, I think, to 2028, the Big Ten championship game. At least 5 more years, the game will be played there. But then I watch how they do it in Hoover. I watched how they did it in Dallas. It just seemed more classy. It just seemed more important. It just seemed better in all phases of it, in my opinion. I'm not cutting down what the Big Ten did, but it's just weird watching it on TV and seeing them out on a football field with different stations set up where you guys are in elite hotels and stuff like that, convention centers. What's your take? I still think the SEC does a better job than anybody in the SEC Media Days.
Yeah, I haven't been to either one of those. We had, when I was ESPN in Gainesville, Ocala, Orlando, we always sent one of the other guys to ACC Media Days, and sometimes he tried to cover both SEC and then go on to ACC, and he was exhausted afterwards. But I like what the SEC does, and now next year, of course, we'll be back at the Hall of Fame. That's really what they want to make. Where they want to make the home for SEC Media Days, I think, is at the Hall of Fame in Atlanta. So we'll be there. I understand that maybe the year after that we may be back in Nashville, and it may bounce back and forth between the Hall of Fame in Atlanta and Nashville from time to time. But I don't think you'll see it in Dallas anytime soon, even though they did a fantastic job. The food was the best we've had. The hotel was really, in terms of the setup, because it was the Omni in downtown Dallas is so enormous, I think it was the best setup we've ever had. But the Hall of Fame does a pretty doggone good job because they can stretch Radio Row all the way down those hallways and all through the Hall of Fame, and it really makes it a very nice setup. So for Radio Row, the Hall of Fame is probably the best setup, but for hotel-wise, I'd say the Dallas Omni was really unbeatable.
Well, this right here today, I like the way the SEC structured it also. You got plenty of time to visit with the coach. Here's how they did it today. This is today. No, actually, what's today? Wednesday? Today. At 11:30, you have UCLA's head coach on. 11:45 is Iowa. 12 o'clock's Michigan State. 12:15 is USC. 12:30 is Nebraska. 12:45 is Penn State. And then they go off on their own after that. And I think the SEC, I think the head coach is up there a lot longer. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, I think they do it longer. The ACC always did a round table, too, where guys could sit with the head coach and just talk, and they talk ball. And that was just a lot of fun the way they did it. I'm getting ready to, not on Delta, but I'm getting ready to fly out for the Pac-12 Media Day, which is at the Motel 6 outside of a little town in L.A. So,
oh my God!
I thought maybe it'd be Red Roof or something.
Did you
Coach, you don't want to spend too much money, Coach.
That's true.
Before we get into Florida, I do want to hit you up on this because the latest for the Big Ten. Of course, I think North Carolina and Virginia is going to be in play, but they're not available right now. So the latest that are available, you hear out of the Big Ten, which I think is a smart move. Notre Dame, which everybody would want, TV sets, and it seems like they're going after these huge TV markets. The next one was a Georgia Tech, and I started thinking about that. Would it hurt Georgia? And maybe down the road, but not right away. The Big Ten getting into Georgia, getting into the Southeastern Conference area. But most kids that grow up especially Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, most of those kids grew up always loving the SEC and always dreaming about playing in the SEC. Some maybe ACC to somewhat, but I think the percentage of it, most of them want to grow up and play, watching Herschel Walker play and all that kind of stuff. They'd want to go. A Georgia high school kid would want to go play in the SEC if he could. I could be wrong about that, but what's your take on that? Will that hurt Georgia right away at all, or what you think?
For Georgia Tech to go in
to the Big Ten,
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it would really have an effect on Georgia whatsoever. I think Georgia does what they do. The SEC right now really owns the state of Georgia. Georgia Tech's been members of the ACC for years, since when they left their independence. And I'll tell you what, it hasn't hurt the SEC one bit. Now the Big Ten is certainly would be much bigger footprint, but I think it'll be fine. Look, everybody, the SEC and the Big Ten are going to fight over North Carolina and Virginia. Those are the two that they really want. But certainly Georgia Tech. The presidents want Duke. I guarantee you the presidents would love to have Duke because of their academic prestige and being members of the AAU. But everybody knows it's North Carolina is the one everybody wants, and then probably Virginia after that, because you do that. And Mike, you go back to SEC Media Days, and something that Greg Sankey said I thought was very interesting. He talked about the footprint of the SEC is throughout the South. He said getting states like Texas and Oklahoma, it kind of helps complete the footprint. I thought, well, the only footprint you don't have a hold in is North Carolina and Virginia, and we know those are the ones you two want. and the presidents want because of their academic prestige and members of the AAU. So, look, those are the first two, but Georgia Tech certainly would be in play. Miami would be in play. Miami's a member of the AAU. So, but how much they're in play, I don't know, because there's a lot to look at with Miami. They don't even have their own football stadium.
Right. Nobody goes to games anyway. But they got that huge TV market. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Give us a little rundown on the Florida Gators. When do they open camp? What are you hearing? When do the kids report? When do they start practice?
Yeah, we know Florida State opens, today, I believe. Yep. So, Florida will be about another week and a half. They will jump in. The only thing we've really gotten from Florida is some roster jersey number changes and some new weight loss, weight gain by several players. We do have a couple position changes. Brian Taylor Jr., who was a JUCO signee, Florida trying to get more edge rushers in there. He is going to be dropped down, probably be a full-time defensive tackle in the new, when practice opens up and everything gets going. And, you go back and you look at what Florida did back during the spring with L.J. McCray, who was, one of the top 2 national defensive players of the year in high school. They used him both at D-tackle and they used him at end on the edge. And he's lost some weight, and I think that's what they wanted to do, is they wanted to take McCray and say, okay, we're going to make you an edge guy, and now Brian Taylor is going to drop down from the edge to go to D-tackle to get the numbers right. Cameron Waits, big offensive lineman who has played tackle, he's played guard, he's played around, but really, unfortunately, injured, Achilles injury, and he's had some other injuries early in his career. Should be really at the point now where he's coming around a bit, but he had moved to offensive tackle. They're going to bring him back, drop him back down to offensive guard, which I think is a good move.
Well, I do have to put this in here. I just looked at something. Let me just say this real quick, Mark. Today, ACC Media Days, we talked about the Big Ten, what their lineup was. Today at 10 o'clock, we talked about Miami. Miami will be there. They open up with the Florida Gators August 31st at the Swamp. I thought it was going to be a night game. I think it's an afternoon game. Then at 11 o'clock, you got Louisville, 12:45 BC, 1:15 Duke, and at 2:45 they have Wake Forest. That's what's going on in the ACC network and ACC Media Days, and we just gave you the Big Ten. We got Mark McLeod with us. When we get back, we'll finish up with Mark. He was at SEC Media Days. Georgia is predicted to win the SEC. We're asking what he thinks about all that and everything else that's going on with the Florida Gators. Right now, we're going to remind you, 2 special days on Wednesdays, special restaurants. J. Michael's, world-famous spaghetti, only on Wednesdays. And then Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, only on Wednesday, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. Cannot beat that. If your yard is not looking very good right now, you want to make a change, you want it to be beautiful, call Turf Pro Pest Control. Pastor Green's crew come out, they'll make it happen for you. The Gulf, it could be rough today. Don't go out there unless you have CETO. Don't go if you don't have CETO.
Anything can happen out there on the water, from breakdowns to shifts in the sand that can leave you stranded. And all you got to do, it's pretty simple. If you want to call somebody locally and get the lowdown, find out different prices and programs, call Brandon at 850-234-2323 or go to CETO.com.
If you love pizza, there's only one place to go. Paparazzi, right here on Thomas Drive. They do an incredible job. They have a bar there. They have a they got it all. The bakery's incredible. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Every day, take somebody with you. Just buy one extra drink and buy the lunch special. Just one of them. That's enough. Those pizzas are huge. 2 huge slices of pizza and a drink for $11 and some change. You can't beat that. Paparazzi Pizza right here on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back with Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
LeBron, he's going to be the flag bearer, opening ceremonies. You know, in the Olympic spirit of amateur athletes, those who, only get this stage maybe once every 4 years, LeBron's got everything. Like, if you're going to give it to Olympians, it's those Olympians that we don't hear about.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, definite thunderstorms and light rain and a high of 86 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. Likely thunderstorms and light showers tonight and warm near 79. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light rain and 88 tomorrow. 88 and a variety of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
Kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Mark McLeod with us like every Wednesday, 8:30 to 9. All you need to know about the Florida Gators. Florida's first game is a huge football game. 2:30 kickoff in the heat, in the swamp, August 31st. ABC, we are now with ESPN and ABC as far as the SEC Network. Mark was at Media Days. Mark, here's what they came up with. You guys voted on it. Georgia, 165 votes. Number 2 team was Texas with 27. Alabama had 12 votes at 3. Ole Miss 4. LSU number 5. Missouri 6. Tennessee 7th. 8th Oklahoma. 9th Texas A&M. 10th Auburn. 11th Kentucky. And the Florida Gators at 12th. What's your take on it? What did you agree with this? What's your thoughts?
No, I agreed with actually the first, I think, 7. I know I had Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, LSU were my top 5, which is how it came in the rankings with the official media take. I had Florida higher up. I had Florida a little higher up. I think Missouri and Tennessee are going to be right there behind LSU in the standing. Actually, I really thought. I thought it was a kind of a toss-up for me. LSU, Missouri, Tennessee, I thought you could make the case for any one of those 3 schools, especially when you look at the schedules and look at who's returning, and especially at quarterback and with various things going on. And then I thought Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Auburn, Kentucky, and Florida were all teams that I could have just rolled the dice and said, which one of these is going to be at the top?
Right.
But I did have Florida a little bit higher. And we'll see what happens with that.
Who's the 2 guys that voted for Vanderbilt?
It happens all the time. We have Coach. We had a new guy, Coach Manlin, who was with us for the first time. He was sitting on our row, and he's covering the University of Kentucky. And I said, "Don't worry." I said, "Some knucklehead, or actually 2, may vote for Vanderbilt. It seems to happen every year, and then someone's going to vote for South Carolina. Don't worry." And he just started laughing because, I remember seeing that in previous years because he's been covering Major League Baseball and some other leagues for football. Yeah. But sure enough, he had a vote for South Carolina, and he had 2 for Vanderbilt and 2 for LSU. So which of these doesn't belong?
That's right.
Yeah, it's all going to come down, and we were talking about this earlier. Trying to predict games now in the future are going to be so tough because everybody has players. It's not like you just stockpiling players anymore. It's hard to win every single game. So there are going to be a lot of upsets this year and going forward, I think. And trying to predict who's going to win all these games and championships. LSU, I look at LSU, they could be really good or they could be 8-4, 9-3. It's his third year. He's got all of his players in there right now. But their schedule, I don't care. Cal could be a dangerous team to play. USC week 1, and then all the teams they play in the SEC. Florida's schedule is unbelievably difficult. Auburn, I think, has a tough schedule. I don't know. It's going to be a crazy year, I think.
It really is. I mean, so many changes at Auburn. Goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? The number of changes at Auburn was insane. And, then you've got other schools where, you've got 2-3 returning guys back. I mean, Mississippi State, what a mess that is.
Yeah.
You've got there's a lot of unknowns. Really, there's some really good things happening at Kentucky, and then there's some unknowns happening at Kentucky. And really, you say the same thing about Texas A&M, Florida, obviously, South Carolina. A lot of I think there are a few too many unknowns for South Carolina for me. And I felt that way with Oklahoma, too, guys. I thought there's been some changes at Oklahoma. I'm not so sure what's going to happen with some of that. So I did not have them as high as the media boys did. I had Florida ahead of Oklahoma and certainly Texas A&M ahead of Oklahoma.
Yeah, you think with Venables being the defensive coach, the Oklahoma defense would be a lot better than it has been.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you a team that I'm kind of worried about, I'll tell you right now, is Tennessee. That quarterback, I think, is the real deal. His offense, the way he spreads you out, the receivers like 1 yard from the sideline on both sides, they can be good now. If they play really good defense, I kind of worry about Tennessee somewhat. What are you hearing about Tennessee?
Yeah, we felt the same thing. We thought that Tennessee has really done some nice things, and when you look at what he's done, I think, they got a good offensive line. I think they have some guys there that they really like, and I think that's going to be a key for Tennessee. One of the things that was talked about there with Tennessee is the fact that they really need to dedicate more to the run and try to get some things going in the run game. Because with this young quarterback, give him time to develop, but also give him something else. Where you're not going to be taking the snap and firing it every other play, So that was one of the things about Tennessee that I thought was very interesting. And it looks like, he's done a good job recruiting. He's done a good job in the portal. They have money. I think I had Tennessee higher than the media guys did, but not by much. Yeah. I thought, again, Tennessee and Missouri, to me, I thought, wow, that's tough.
Look at the schedules, and you look at Ole Miss's schedule and Missouri's schedule. They got the best setup. They got the best schedule, I think, as far as a chance to have a really good year. I mean, the non-conference games are no problem. The way they're set up, I like their schedule. If you're fans of those two teams, I think you're going to have a pretty good record this year. Mark, I want to talk about Florida, Miami, week 1. Both coaches are on the hot seat. Both coaches have to get a win. It's going to be hot and miserable. I can't believe they're not playing a game at night. I was shocked when I saw a 2:30 kickoff time. But that's such a huge game. And Miami's it's like they have players, but it's like they don't get it done for whatever reason. I mean, they're recruiting really well. They got some good transfers in there. They got a lot of money, but it just doesn't seem to happen on the field. What do you think, man? Are you worried about this game? What do you think could happen in this ball game?
I think anything could happen in this game. I really do. I think that Miami did a great job closing in the portal. They really did. The last 2 to 3 weeks of what they did, they brought in some players that they really needed, and, man, that helped them a lot because prior to that, I mean, there were even some of the media guys that we talked to regionally, that said that Florida should be able to beat Miami. But after they did that work in the portal, I think it made things real interesting and will make things interesting for the Hurricanes. But, look, you've got it in the swamp. And that is one of the other things that Billy Napier has to do is he has to start establishing dominance at home. Yes. And that has not been done in a long time at the University of Florida. And, that's one of the keys to the season for him because so many of those first 7 games, 5 of them are at home. So he really needs to establish dominance there. And then, get yourselves ready for those final 5 games because they're going to be juggernauts.
You know, I had this. I don't know where I got. Where I have it right now. I don't have it in front of me, but out of Vegas, what do you even know what the line is on this game right now? How it opened up as?
You know, I don't. I really don't. Haven't looked at that. I just was following more closely the Nick Saban vice presidential potential as the Democratic nominee for VP. So I thought that was very interesting that he made the list. And
well, roll tide. I mean, what, he's from Bama. What do you expect?
He's going to be everywhere.
Yeah. They were talking about since you brought it up. I know it's Florida time, and they don't play each other this year. But we got about 30 seconds. They said this Alabama team might be the most underrated team since 2020. This team could be the best team since they won their last national championship. I don't know if I'm buying that or not, but why I told you that, I don't know, but I did.
Yeah, well, Alabama and Texas there was a lot of talk out there among the guys I hang out with and have lunch and dinner with and breakfast with, and that was one of the main discussions, Coach, was who's going to be better. Texas has not been that team yet. They haven't hit those lofty heights yet, and Bama has. A lot of those kids on that Bama roster have that experience.
Mark, we'll talk to you next Wednesday, buddy. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Take care, Mark.
Colin Cowherd. Women's basketball has been sort of sending a message. Caitlin Clark is not quite ready. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And the more I watch